But I want to begin with Mheshimiwa Kimani Ichung'wah. You made allegations over the weekend that I'd like a clarification about. You made these allegations about a squad that has been formed. Probably you called it Sting or something. Would you elaborate much more on this squad?
I think I said time is coming, and we will be able to divulge all these details to the public at the appropriate time, since there are issues that are still being tied up. And we're also giving an opportunity to those who are responsible for some of these things, probably to redeem themselves and do the right thing. But I can confirm to you that indeed there is a squad that has been formed called Sting, tied to the dissolution of the Kwekwe and Flying Squads. But I don't want to discuss anything beyond that for now.
Okay, but you didn't think, you're waiting for, you're saying time is coming that you'll make this public, but you made it public already, Mheshimiwa. You spoke
not in details, and there are reasons why
you didn't talk.
There are reasons why I'm not saying anything beyond that for now.
All right, you heard him, the allegations. He doesn't want to discuss. He says there will be a time, but for an allegation, the person of the stature of a member of parliament for Kikuyu to make that allegation in public, that there is actually a squad that is being established. And coming days just after, not even days, I think it's the same day there was allegations about, no, that was a day before when there was allegation about Deputy President's life being in danger, and he makes that allegations. Does it concern you?
You know, first of all, let me send my condolences to the family of the slain officer, Sergeant Kenai. And, you know, my brother, I think we need to discuss very serious issues. The issue Mheshimiwa is raising is not very important. The very important issue in this country today is that there are issues that is touching the second highest command office in this country. There is one, a scandal, a fake scandal. Government documents being signed in someone's office. And then two, there is the death of an officer attached to that office. I think that is the discussion. And the issue, these all issues that are coming up are sideshows. We should be told who allowed these people to the office. What were they doing? And the bearer of the office, upon learning about an investigation and a revelation of an illegality that was going on in his office, what are they expected from the Deputy President? The bare minimum, the irreducible minimum, is to send people home pending investigation. But up to today, nobody was sent home in that office to pave way for investigations. What we saw is people raising voices, weeping emotions. So then, is it a cover-up?
Moshe, I think I should sort out your mic. Your mic has an issue. I think I should sort it out, but yes. I'm coming back to you. Yes. Joy, even as I sort out that microphone, tell me what you think about the allegations that were made that there is a squad, there are squads that have been disbanded, but there's a squad known as Sting that is being constituted right now, and this coming at the back of allegations by the Deputy President that indeed his life is in danger.
Well, those are matters that I cannot be cross-examined on because I know not, I am a common mwananchi, and so maybe Mheshimiwa has got an inside scoop on what is going on. So on that score, allow me to plead the fifth, for lack of a better word. But there's something that Mheshimiwa Kutunya said that I think I want to build up on. This entire thing, now I'm speaking now as a legal professional.
Yes.
I mean, it's marks of a scam. It's a fake. It's a fake.
In other words, you're asking us to jump the discussion on this because it's a serious concern to go to this because we're going to discuss this in substance.
I'm tying it in with what you asked earlier about the life of the Deputy President and whatnot.
Yes.
It started out as these white people have come, they thought that they were doing business with government, and then they've been swindled. Then there are questions around, by the way, that deal, was it a real deal, was it a fake deal? Before we even answer that question, somebody turns up, he's dead. We're told it is a suicide, then the next thing we know, no, actually it's a murder. Before, the dust is not even settled on that, then you start hearing, by the way, unless I'm dead, there's no stopping this. So in my opinion, we're not even answering some of the fundamental questions first. Who are these people? Where did they come from? What did they want in this country? How did they get where they got? the papers that they were signing, were they really government papers or were they fake? Are those people also criminals? Should they be in? Should they be out? As a lawyer, I'm thinking there's so many other questions that at the substratum, we've forgotten all that and we just jumped into the politics. So, because we've had this narrative before, Lamada, now there's this one. So it's something that I would not dismiss offhand, because in Kenya we have seen assassinations from all manner of corners. But at the same time, I think the first questions first. Let's answer the basic questions first. A man has lost his life. People are waiting for a murder to be solved. There's this whole thing of people have come into this country. I mean, the amount that they're talking about is almost a third of the budget that we are spending on defense. How is that possible? Then there's the man Echesa. Who is he? How much influence does he wield? For me, we are jumping so many guns to get to the sideshows that we are losing the main picture, the substratum of this thing. Will we get lost in it all, and by the time we are done?
What would be the sideshow here? Because I think allegations of death cannot be sideshow.
Let me weigh in on that from what Joy is saying, because I think she's taken the discussion to where it should be. You yourself and Kutunyi are too eager, just like Nation Media House and Nation newspapers have been all too eager to create a public narrative. And that is the same narrative that the editorial started with, is trying to push. And I'll take you, because Mheshimiwa Kutunyi is the one who brought about the issue of the unfortunate death of Kenei. And you know, for Kutunyi, for yourself and others, even for DCI, Kenei is not a human being. Kenei is a character to be used for newspaper headlines and to push a political narrative. Kenei is a person I knew. He was my very good friend.
But that can be true, because the nation did not
Let me make my point. Let me make my point.
Yes.
You push the narrative that the Deputy President speak about threats to his life after this incident, and from what he said on Saturday. Remember, there was Lamada.
Yes.
Remember, after Lamada came up, and it was reported that there were certain people who were meeting in the basement of a hotel, at Lamada Hotel, to plan or to plot the assassination of the Deputy President. What happened after that? DCI purported to be investigating what was called a fake
letter
authorized
or authored at the DP's office.
Wherever that is your allegation that it was authored at the DP's office, the case is in court. I think if you...
But if you signed from the DP's office...
If you want to get facts, other than pushing a narrative, go to Milimani Court. The case is in court. Find out whether anybody has signed an affidavit that letter was either authored by Dennis Itumbi, the blogger who was arrested and arraigned in court for being the author of that letter.
Okay.
Find out whether it was indeed true that there was FBI that was investigating the genesis of that letter. Because this country has been treated to a lot of lies from the DCI's office. But the point is, I was trying to tell you, the issue of threats to the Deputy President and his life did not emanate on Saturday. It came from the time of Lamada. Therefore, all the Deputy President said, and you could see the narrative you're trying to push with the editorial here tonight, he said, if those who killed this young man were doing it to try and threaten me or stop me, then they would have to kill me to stop me. That is all he said. Two, the issue of the politics of intimidation, and I spoke about it. It didn't start today. And I said it earlier today somewhere else. It started right after the 2017 elections. It started with political, social media, a social media campaign. We came to what was called the lifestyle audit that never started. It was only done by Nation newspapers and other newspapers in the media, and on only one person, the person of the Deputy President. I never saw Kutunyi's lifestyle audit. I never saw mine or any other person in this country. From there, it moved to politicians. It has moved on to business people. Politicians, I have a report. I know not less than 3 members of parliament who have reports to the DCI and to the police. Mine was made at the DCI office at Parliament when somebody called me and threatened me with death if I continue working with William Ruto. What was done? After that,
a report.
2 weeks after, my security was withdrawn. Every other member of Parliament who has reported death threats, his security has been withdrawn.